So I found this other YouTube channel, 80's Then and 80's Now. And since I do Throwback Thursdays and love the 80's, I had an idea.
And it's Thursday. You know what that means? It's time for us to have another Throwback Thursday. And we're gonna go back in time, throw up that celebration, because Heart of the Stories we tell, and me, Rob the host, is going to take us back to a quick nostalgic look and see how a story was that might be a little bit on the older side. So celebrate your week almost being over as we look at
Kind of a shout out, I guess. Alright, so normally this is where I'd be reviewing something that was old, but instead I want to talk about something that's new about old. And I'm going to need your comments at the bottom in order to help me with this. See, he has this whole channel about 80's nostalgia, and I love the 80's. I grew up in the 80's. But at the same time, he has this thing that he put up on Instagram, and I just loved it so much when I was told to look for it. He basically said, if you have a YouTube channel, tell him about it, and if he likes it, he'll talk about it. Well, I liked his YouTube channel, so I want to talk about it for a second. And I want to do an entire month of 80's throwbacks. And in order to do so, I need some suggestions. I need some ideas. Now, I've got 1,000 ideas of things I could do. I could do Thundercats, I could do Gem, I could do Better Off Dead, I could do Breakfast Club, I could do pretty much every TV, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, you name it, I could do it. But what I really want to know is, what do you want me to do? So, I'm opening this up for, I think, the first time ever for just pure out suggestions. Now, I've already handled several 80's topics in general, and Throwback Thursday specifically. I did a G.I. Joe Operation Dragonfire. I did the Back to the Future trilogy, although I could probably revisit that because it's a whole trilogy and a cartoon and God knows what else, and I only did it once. I did the Commish TV show. I did the entire Disney afternoon as one lump, although that went 80's into 90's, and then I did Darkwing Duck, which was way more 90's. I did the Dukes of Hazzard, but I think that actually started in the 70's. I did do the Golden Girls, and that again went into the 90's. For comic book stuff, I did the Infinite Gauntlet series, and then its sequel series, The Infinite War, both of which I expect are going to be heavily referenced in the movie coming out next month that I'll also be reviewing. My Two Dads, which is one of my highest rated Throwback Thursdays, Quantum Leap, and then a general overview of why it was that cars were so important in the 80's. And trust me, it was all about the cars in the 80's. So help me celebrate the decade that was the first decade I was ever around for, since I was born in 1980. And help me celebrate it with a fellow channel, 80's Then and Now. Do it by going to check out his channel, I'll leave a link, but also do it by helping suggest something to me. What 80's movie, TV show, comic book, novel, play, song, you name it, anything goes. If it's a story, it's got some merit. And if it's got some merit, I want to review it. Point blank, there are some things I've been waiting to do that I really want to do. I'll tell you right now that Knight Rider is one that I had almost ready and had something come up. So if you're thinking Knight Rider, you don't have to suggest that one. That's really coming up sooner or later. But let me know down in the comments section. What is it you'd like to see? And then go, and if you like his channel, subscribe to that too. And leave him a comment. Let him know that I sent you. But before you do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up on this video if you like the idea of doing thematically Throwback Thursdays. And of course, if you haven't, click that subscribe button. Because I'm building a community that I can talk about all sorts of fun stories. The good and the bad that comes from them. Why we tell them, how we tell them. And maybe, just maybe, this is the first other channel that I found that's going to be able to help inspire me to look a little deeper into yet another subset of stories. If this works out, maybe we'll do another decade another time. Maybe a much older one. For now, I hope you have a good night, and thank you for walking with me through the heart of the stories we tell.